Welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very special edition of Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Sorry about that, guys. I rushed this on. I'm just trying to check my settings and see if the camera and microphone and everything are working. It appears that perhaps they are. I know I say this every time, but I am going to make this a quick video because I have a ton of big dog work to do, so I got to get moving. Great to see the great Not a Lurker here. Of course, I forgot to text him as usual, but we appreciate his stalwart efforts here to improve this horrible channel. Un Poco Mas, the great Carl Seamark, the great Katie Wentworth, of course, joining us. Carl Seamark, of course, the mattress king of Chicago. If you need a pillow top, you need a hybrid, you need a gel, you need a foam, whatever you need, Carl's got you covered. Need an adjustable. He doesn't like to sell those adjustables because they don't hold up. But if you insist, he'll sell you one on a high interest payment plan. He'll overcharge you for delivery. Anyway, guys, that's neither here nor there. Thank you for tuning in to this extremely special edition. Let me throw the comments up on the screen there so you guys can see yourselves think. It's Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. I just wanted to do a quick update here on IOVA because I talked quite a bit about this stock, and I just thought this was a special project for market makers. If you guys have half a brain in your head, you can see this walk down. I mean, they were algo holding it here between 9:30 and 11:12, but mostly between 9:30 and 10:40 in like sort of a dollar increment. Then they walked it down by dollars, half dollars. It's not 7:30, and then it's $6, and then they push it all the way down to $3, and then you see both earnings reports, it crashes to the same level down here to about $1.70 or whatever it is. Both earnings reports crash the same way. I mean, what a coincidence. And then the algo holds it again down here at like 173, and then it holds it again down here at 170. It's just, I don't know how it could be more obvious that a stock was, walked down and that this wasn't some kind of traditional sell-off. And that's pretty much obvious when you start to look at the institutional ownership of this company, which is, a massive proportion of the shares. I don't know exactly what it's sitting at. It ticked down a little bit, but I think you will correspondingly see insider ownership has ticked up. So I don't know what the exact percentage is right now. It's not showing it. 258 million. So you'd have to tell me what the share count is so I could see it. But the put call ratio has turned a lot more positive in terms of calls. And then just to update you as far as what's going on with the most recent filings, MHR Fund, who's now the leading shareholder, increased by 20%. Now, both Vanguard and BlackRock decreased their share count, but I wouldn't panic on this one. Vanguard, dropped their price, dropped their share count by 9.7%, and so they have 25 million shares remaining. Remember, Vanguard's average cost is $12.07. So they don't usually lose, and they don't usually buy that poorly. Now, BlackRock, not quite as bad. Their average is $9.75, and they trimmed 4.4%. They now have 23.2 million shares. Now, other companies who I'm not as familiar with and don't follow and don't know if they're, as good. State Street, again, trimming just right along with Vanguard. Now, Millennium Management, who is, I don't know them as well, but they're, very significant. I see them constantly. They increased their share count, 6,000% to 9.3 million shares. And then Morgan Fudley, let's see what they did. Morgan Fudley increased this filing from 815, increased 60%. Their share count 60%. Their average is 784. So they're doing quite a bit. Another one I wanted to point out was Goldman Sachs. Okay. Goldman Sachs decreased 14%, but their average, again, is $10.55. Just look at what the smart money is paying, for this company. And were they wrong? I mean, no, they weren't wrong. The ramp is actually going swimmingly. This was just, I would argue this was just mechanics working on the stock. Now, one of the big shorts dropped out. and you can see, very high insider ownership from Wayne Rothbaum. He owns a bunch of the company. Not a huge amount of insider buys in the last 3 months. Let's kick it out to 12 months. So there's one sell and 3 buys, but the sell was bigger. Last 3 months, only buys. That was a little, that was a sell at a much, much higher level. If you look at the shorts, you can see one of the big shorts just gave up on the stock. If you look at the short interest, it was not long ago. Perhaps I don't like to suggest anything, but perhaps they knew this was coming. So you could see the short interest was 33% of the free float, and it dropped all the way down to 24% on the last short report. Now, cost to borrow remains low. Utilization, really, I would argue that this isn't going to be like a heavy short squeeze, but what I would argue is that this could push this back up to this 540 level, 523, 540, wherever this is. This level here at 274, 275, this functioned as support, as pretty good, pretty strong support. As volume came in, you see the volume tick up there significantly. Like volume was down, averaging 6 million, 7 million. And then when it took this dip, volume ticked up to 10, 15 million. So buying pressure coming in at 275. The only place it broke down below that was this earnings waterfall, which, again, I would argue this stuff is pre-planned, pre-dialed in, designed to destroy, stop losses and get retail to basically dump their shares at rock bottom prices. And then you see all the buying come in. And you see institutions aren't selling. The one I wanted to point out with Goldman in terms of their last filing was, and you see the fund sentiment score, it's pretty positive, 6.76. No, it's actually terrible. 6.76 out of 100. I was thinking it's 67. I don't think this measures hedge funds. It doesn't really make sense given the institutional ownership of the stock being extremely high. But the thing I wanted to point out with Goldman, okay, they lowered their price target on the stock recently to $1, and their average cost is $10.55. So if Goldman really thought the stock was worth $1, why did they sell 14.75% of their shares when they made that call rather than 100% of their shares? Because at that point, the stock was still trading, I think, like $5, $6, something in there. So it just doesn't make any sense. If you, I guess the analyst is independent of the traders in terms, but it doesn't really work like that. The institution forms an opinion on the stock, and the institution behaves accordingly. It's not like every Tom, Dick, and Harry in a cheap suit is just out there freelancing for the likes of Goldman Sachs. There's certainly centralized authority there. Now, a couple other interesting ones. If you look at Citadel in terms of their long shares, Citadel is another massive market maker. Two Sigmas. You look at Two Sigmas, they came in right off the bottom. Their average cost is 272, and they increased their share count by over 1,000%. So, I think the shrewd smart money and Millennium, again, $2.67 increased their share count 6,000%. So I think a lot of the smart money saw this as a huge opportunity. You look at Bank of America, they were doing the opposite. They lowered their price, lowered their average down $5 and, sorry guys, I gotta drink some water, $5.36, and they increased their share count 33.55%. Fascinating, isn't it? What did the Royal Bank of Canada do? Again, making strong moves. Average cost lowered down to $3.38, increased their share count 354%. So the notion that institutions were dumping at the bottom, just completely false. It's completely made up narrative. Insiders weren't dumping at the bottom. Institutions weren't dumping at the bottom. The only people dumping at the bottom were, terrified retail investors, and who could blame them? Because we were told the ER was a bloodbath, when in fact they treated over 100 patients and made $60 million. And the bears want to sell you the narrative that Canada doesn't matter. I saw this explode on the bulletin. Oh, there's no cases in Canada. And I looked it up. It's like there was 11,000 new cases in 2024 of melanoma, and that was a 17% increase over 2023 just in Canada. And there was over 1,300 deaths from melanoma in Canada. So think about the fact that IOVA just made $60 million in revenue treating just 102 patients last quarter. And there's over 11,000 cases just in Canada, which everybody wants to say is insignificant. Say they could treat 10% of those cases. That would be over 1,000 patients treated per year, even at a lower reimbursement rate, whatever that might be, $250,000 US or Canadian, that would have to be negotiated. But the bottom line is the revenue could be extremely significant compared to the current market cap. The current market cap is ridiculously low. I mean, usually these companies, once they get FDA approval and you see that the ramp is going to go, I mean, yes, you expect a money raise. Yes, you expect dilution. Yes, you expect some growing pains. But this one's not horrible at all. They have another year of runway. They're already ramping sales. They're going to be at 100 million in sales per quarter before we know it. They're not going to need much more money for that long. This is going to be a Charlie Kelly style self-sustaining economy. They're going to do all the treatments down at Patty's Pub. But the bottom line is, guys, I mean, I don't know how much trouble the shorts are in, but they're shorting a quarter of the float still. And it was pretty obvious that I would guess that was Citadel who stopped shorting the stock. I don't know if that filing came in yet. I guess we could take a look. I'm on the wrong place. Sorry, this is all confusing. I don't have my correct glasses, so I can't see what the hell's going on. Let's take a look at the fund shorting IOVA. So yeah, Wolverine got out of the way completely. That was probably the big one. Group 1, what did Citadel do? Citadel got out 15% of their put. Susquehanna. So yeah, the shorts are bailing. Like, it's not just one. I mean, Wolverine got out. The only company that's significant here, I don't know that much about Simplex. I see them, but I don't know like anything about them. I know Jane Street they make a lot of money. They're one of the biggest shorters in terms of these trading houses, along with Citadel and Wolverine and some of these others. But yeah, this is basically, I don't know how they could scream it at you any louder. The smartest of the smart money is buying the hell out of the bottom. New companies coming in, 6,000%, 1,000% increases in their share count right off the bottom. And then the shorts at the same time are covering at the bottom. If this company was going bankrupt, or they would have to get some horrible, why would they have to raise money with a horrible deal? It doesn't make sense. They just brought on a new CFO who's a total pro, who's going to be able to network them with the right people, get the right, the right deal makers, the right brokers handling this to raise them some money at a reasonable valuation. And then other people are asking me, are they a buyout candidate? Of course they're a buyout candidate. Look at all these major pharma companies with all these failures in their pipeline. And quite frankly, you have no idea what's going to get approved under this new FDA regime. I don't know. I was saying it just fell after. This bounces around all the time. I don't know. It says it's up 30 cents after hours. This stock should be, if you just talk about you don't even know what a mature sales is for this product, because it's going to get approved everywhere. Probably ultimately it's going to sell, over $1 billion a year. So even if you give it a 2 or a 3, it could be a 5 multiplier. I mean, the market cap right now is not even $1 billion. Should be 3 to 5 or even more. I mean, and I know they have some debt and they're not in great financial condition, but for a company that made it to the finish line, so to speak, in terms of the FDA process and stuff, they're really in better shape than most, I would argue. The ones I've seen, because they're going right down the toilet. Those are most of the stocks I pick. But I think there's just a tremendous amount of upside here. This isn't going away. They have a cure for melanoma. It's extremely deadly cancer. I was reading it was the 7th most diagnosed cancer in all of Canada. And it's very, very deadly. So, and the deadliest form is what they have a therapy for that works very, very well. I mean, it's not a cure in the sense that it's going to be 100% or anything, but the response rate is very good. and I see like shorts coming after. They can yo-yo the stock after hours by just rigging the bid and the ask at different times. But make no mistake, this is very, very bullish news, because more and more Western countries and blocks and stuff that approve, the therapy, it kind of snowballs, and then everybody starts approving. Like, this helps you with the European Medicines Agency if Canada has looked at all the data. I know they don't necessarily expressly, cross-reference one another, but I think you can't help but realize, if Canada approves and Britain approves and US FDA approves and, Japan approves, whoever else, who has a modern medical system and the approval regimes that are relatively similar to your own, you're going to, use that as at least a reference point. I know you're going to have to do your own due diligence, as you should with a stock, as certainly should with a drug approval, but let's face it, this is going to get approved everywhere. Unless something, dramatic changes in the type of data you're seeing with the response to this. But I don't think that's going to, people are saying somebody's going to scoop them, but the major competitor that was supposed to come in, they just got rejected by the FDA. That's what a lot of people aren't realizing. There's so much bullish news. There should be a ton of bullish momentum behind this stock. The earnings report was not bad. It's like people just don't know what they're looking at. You're looking at the very, very beginning of a ramp that is going, I think, incredibly well. They have a ton of centers online. They're talking about bringing a center online in Canada this year. So we might see revenues as soon as, Q1 next year out of Canada. And by the end of next year, those revenues could be very, very significant. This company could come a very long way in a couple of years. This valuation could easily 5x in a couple of years, I think, or even more, even 10x. I think if you were going to buy this out, you'd have to pay at least 6 or 7 times this price. You can't believe what fell. You're going to take grandma in his weird red overall pajamas, his weird fedora, who beat his dog. What's that grandma character? It's like a weird character. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about here, guys, but this is a reasonably good, explanation. This gets conditional approval. Of course, they're looking for more data, but it's the first T-cell therapy for solid tumor cancer and first treatment option approved in Canada for advanced melanoma after anti-PD-1 and targeted therapy. So they expect to authorize our first Canadian treatment center within the next few months, and we continue to advance our ex-US strategy for Amtagvi in additional markets, says Frederick Vogt, interim CEO of IOVA. And he, of course, made a statement, and a strong statement. It's a beautiful statement. I framed it and put it on my wall, along with my recipe for oatmeal raisin cookies. I'm going full short Danny deals, by the way. I'm going to short Danny right from 330 down to 250. I think we're going to get that done by summer. We'll see. We'll see. Either we're going to get it done, we're going to short this big fat turd, or we're going to die trying. One of the two. I don't know, guys. I just don't know anymore. Oh, who the hell is this? Thank you. The great Naughty Worker checking in. The great J Money. Most beautiful head on all of you, turd. I was thinking, guys, I mean, there's so many things, like, it's just whatever is like holding you back. It's like so many things. It's so easy to like rationalize doing what's comfortable and routine and not changing. But I don't know, man. Sometimes you just need a hard break. Sometimes you just need to reimagine yourself, like Danny 2.0. Just short yourself down to a reasonable weight so you don't die of a massive heart attack. I don't know, guys. It's like being fat is just bad for everything. Like, you get cancer, you get heart disease, you get stroke, you get high blood pressure, it's just everything. You get a bad back, you get bad knees. And I mean, I've been very active and playing tennis and stuff on these poor knees and hips my entire life as a big chunky monkey. And it's like, I can only ask so much of this temple I've been given, this temple of man boobs and quesadillas and chicken strips. You know what told me it was just time to change was when Chick-fil-A instituted that 10-piece large strip. I happened to find myself driving through a Chick-fil-A. I didn't know how I got there. My GPS reader, I was trying to get to 24-hour fitness, of course. Going to do 2 or 3 hours on the treadmill. I just ran a 10K, so I was a little bit tired, but I was going to do, 3-4 more hours cardio. Damn GPS malfunction redirected me to Chick-fil-A. And I, of course, said, as I'm wont to do, give me a large order of chicken strips. Because usually what I do is I just get the chicken strips. I know those are bad enough because they're fried and everything. But I'm like, okay, 4 chicken strips. For me being a big fat jerk that I am, that's about the best that I'm going to do. I'm not getting a lemonade. I'm not getting a sundae. I'm not getting a sandwich with the white bread. Not getting a brownie. I'm not getting, whatever other delicious things they have there, which is many. Not getting those waffle fries that I love those waffle fries. Not getting those. Just getting an order of chicken strips. And what does the nice young gentleman holding that tablet say? Words that just absolutely shook my life to its foundation. He said, sir, when you say large, do you mean the 4-piece or the 10-piece? I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. You devil. Let's see. Dude, not a lurker's crushing me. I'm not a lurker when I'm trying to lose weight. I got to lose a lot of weight every single week. So I'm going to be checking in with you guys every Monday. And I got to lose weight every week to get this thing done by summer so I don't fucking die. I mean, bottom line, dude, I don't care if you're John Candy, Chris Farley, all my favorite comedians. I was like, dude, those guys fucking made it. They're movie stars. They're world famous. And they're big fat guys like me. Chris Farley had man boobs and he's up there dancing with Patrick Swayze. I was like, this fucking guy's my hero. Love this fucking guy. Rest in peace, brother. I was telling somebody in the comments, dude, big guys, we always give the nod because the struggle is real. You can't travel. I mean, I travel. I used to have to travel a lot for work. Thank God I don't have to travel as much anymore. And I can afford a decent seat if I have to. My boss used to stick me in whatever used to be worse than coach. It was like worse than pet class. I think they put you in hey, let's put this fat guy down in the cargo hold. He could probably survive the freezing temperatures. Look how fat he is. I'm like, I can hear you guys. They're like, yeah, we know. I'm like, okay, just, putting it out there. It's a bit discourteous. Who are you, Jean-Cheese Baptiste? You motherfuckers. Anyway, much like Fonzie on his motorcycle, this show jumped the shark. But bottom line is I'm weighing my fat ass every Monday. I'm bringing in the number. So, I don't know. It was fluctuating like 332. And I'm not proud of that. I thought I was down near 315 or something. I mean, I guess I had my shoes on and stuff. But, yeah, I'm like, I don't know, 6 foot tall or something. So, yeah, I'm a relatively short, fat sack of dump. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, by next week, I want to lose at least 5 pounds. Not more. 2 pounds per month is healthy? Oh, shut up, not a lurker. 2 pounds a month. I would be fat for the next 20 years. I'll be dead. I'll be dead of a heart attack by the time I lose the weight. Drastic times call for drastic measures, not a lurker. Drastic man boobs need drastic actions. Fat idiots need severe beatings. Now, I love fat people. I love everybody. Honest to God. I just love people. Which is weird because I'm like a weird, isolated anxiety type of person. In theory, I love people. As long as I don't have to see them, talk to them, deal with them, know them, talk about their problems, talk about my problems. It's way easier on you, turd. It's not like a real thing. Oh, anyway, enough about my fat ass. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I haven't really had a chance to read the comments here. Just not that there's very many of them. My entire comment section outside of like live, but on the the comments themselves after the show is dominated by Dick Wolf, the creator of Law and Order. Basically the entire comment section. So thank you, Dick. He can get a bit salty, bit of the old salty Dick, but we love him nonetheless. Let's see, who the hell is this? 2 pounds per week. Best and safest weight loss depends on your starting point. Dude, this is why you gotta love Not Alert. He's just sending you all the real data, sending you the real deal. He's trying to help me, but he just doesn't get it. I'm a yo-yo guy. I've been, I started life fat. I'm sure I'll probably end life fat. I hope not. But I got to make a move, I got to make, drastic moves. I don't play the game straight up. I'm like Worm. I see a mark and I take him down. That's how I live my life. In this case, I am the mark, the fat mark. I have a t-shirt that says fat people are easier to kidnap. And that's the truth. It's one of the few benefits, or no, I'm sorry. Fat people are harder to kidnap. You have to throw us in the trunk. I don't know, guys. The self-deprecating humor, though. It's like, it's serious. Like, you can't, have you ever tried to, you ever been a man in my comport trying to use the airport restroom? It's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. And then they fill those airport things with things you're going to immediately have to use the toilet. Like, hey, do you want the Panda Express or hot chicken? It's the same thing. Fried oil at the wrong temperature, rancid little bits of chicken and like hot chili pepper oil. Just blasting my colon out of my head. Why can't they feed you something reasonable with those things? Like, give me a nice sandwich or I don't know. Like, do you want the birria street? I always say birria. I say it wrong. Sorry to you native Spanish speakers. Birria. I love birria, but I can't freaking say it. It's that beef with the consomme. You dip the taco in it and they like fry the taco in the delicious juice of the beef. It's like a slow simmered beef, like a pepper sauce. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. But anyway, I digress. I forgot what I was talking about. I guess it was probably me being fat. Wah, 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 wah. Oh my God. I was out. This is the irony. I hate even to admit this because I'm such a big sack of shit. But I was at a buffet and I just noticed I didn't eat a lot of this stuff, but I'm like, even buffets are like set up now. Cause it used to be like buffets, you go and you get your own food. So of course I'd load up like a prime rib and you get your shrimp and your crab legs and all that stuff. And then you eat like a tiny little dollop of like rice or bread. Now they try to hand you everything. They hand is, I'm like, the tuna poke is like 90% rice and they squirt this disgusting spicy mayo all over it. Everything is over sauced. It's not cooked properly. Everybody's hiding behind their saucing. Like you're over saucing, you're over garnishing. Every Asian dish doesn't need 3 different sauces, and 2 of those sauces don't need to be mayonnaise based. What's wrong with a little bit of vinegar? What's wrong with something a little bit subtle? What's wrong with a chef who actually can cook something properly? Doesn't have to hide it or a big freaking bunch of, and then all the other it's like, okay, you get all these stations like a pasta station. I want to go to a fucking buffet and pay a bunch of money. eat penne pasta with tomato sauce? Are you kidding me? Who are you, my nana? What am I, in prison in Goodfellas? I felt he used too many onions, but it was a good sauce. How many onions are you using? 3 small onions, Paulie. That's a lot of onions. 3 cans of tomato sauce. Oh, I don't know. So, anyway, this video pretty much never had any point. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Chris. 100%. And I have no excuse, guys. I used to cook and line cook in restaurants, anywhere. Greasy spoons to I never cooked like fine dining, but pretty close. I can cook almost anything. But I'm just tired. I'm a total Karen. Like, you got to get off your ass. Like, life doesn't just like come to you. You can't just talk about stuff. Oh, I want to get healthy. Yeah, want in one hand and pee in the other and see which one fills up faster. Like, so many people, you talk about stuff. You got to do stuff. God, just decide to do it and do it. And there's a million excuses for everything. Oh, McDonald's made me fat. They put all these things, but I don't care what your weakness is. There's always going to be a corporation that will exploit your weakness for profit. I don't care if it's the tobacco companies. I don't care if it's the fast food companies. I don't care what it is. The mattress people, Carl Seymour, selling you that pillow top you don't need. Hasn't even been 10 years. He's going to sell you another pillow top. He's got to eat. He's got a boat payment, big boat payment. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's always going to be someone there to exploit your weakness for profit. Could be a heroin dealer. Could be the local barbecue guy in my case. But you have to take personal responsibility for your own decisions. Like Chris said, it's not easy to go out and shop every day and cook and make sure meal plan and all that stuff. But that's what fit people do. It's not by accident. You have to be personally responsible for your decisions. You have to be personally responsible for what you can go, oh, I was tempted. Oh, I can't control myself. Oh, I'm a big fat jerk. So I don't know. I have no idea what this video is about other than me being fat and IOVA getting approval in Canada. So there you go. The great Nicholas Youngworth. Come to Vienna on a diet of wine and Ozempic. I don't drink. I used to drink a lot. Don't drink at all. To find it wasn't great for me. Wasn't a solution to my problems as much as I tried to think it was for a long time, but no, it never really worked out for me. Yeah, I do lift weights. I was playing tennis, but it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy when you get old and fat, because like I really, really enjoy playing tennis. I'm really good at it. And it's one of the things I taught. I taught tennis for decades, and I'm a better teacher than I am a player because I'm big and fat, and so I'm slow, but I'm a hell of a shot maker. Serve is just incredible. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, because like my ankle doesn't want to play anymore, my knee doesn't want to play anymore. So you get older, you get fatter, you get more stagnant, and it just snowballs until I'm going to be one of those guys on the electric scooter going around the comic book convention, my gut hanging down between my big fat thighs, going around with like a fucking 70-ounce mug full of boba or some kind of coffee that has like 6,000 calories, not wondering why I'm getting fatter. Oh, it's just the coffee. No, it's a fettuccino. It's got feta chocolate. It's got feta whipped cream. Everything should say feta. Like, is that a super burger? No, it's a feta burger. You get a huge fat ass and have a heart attack when you eat this. Any truth in marketing? At least the Heart Attack Grill is honest. They tell you. We have doctors here on staff. I have a cardiologist for this like horrible thing we're about to do. Oh, yeah. No, tennis is probably the word. I wish I enjoyed something else that happened like on grass. Frisbee golf. But I love tennis. It's my favorite game. So what are you gonna do? But you got nobody to blame but myself, and I got nobody who can solve the problem but myself. And the only way you can solve problems is stop looking for people to blame and start looking for pragmatic solutions, and then just start doing the hard work. And that's what I plan to do, from this day forward. So we'll weigh the fetus. We'll weigh old Danny again, old cornbread, moist doughy, cumbrel under pressure. I shan't be eating any cornbread. I shan't be eating any bread at all. Maybe a little bit of wheat bread here and there, but not very much. No big old bowls of penne. But I was saying that those stupid, you can't even make your own choices anymore. They hand you a thing. It's like, okay, you ask for fish, you get like a big basket of French fries. I just throw it right back at the cook. I didn't ask for a big basket of fries. Why'd I come to a buffet, pay all this money, and eat a huge basket of French fries? Stick these back in the fryer there, Choach. Anyway, sorry about my buffet bitterness. I'm just a complete psycho. But it's like buffets, you pick your own stuff. You don't get handed dishes, and then they give you these two like weird dishes where you can only hold one thing. You got to keep going back to your table. It's like 6 miles away, but by the time you get one thing back, the other thing's cold. You got to sit down and eat this little tiny bite-sized dish and go wait in line again. Some other guy, oh, would you like the fry basket, or would you like the mashed potatoes, 3 pounds of mashed potato? I just want the prime rib. Just give me the prime rib. I can give you the mashed potatoes and the dinner roll, or I could give you the mixed vegetable. Can you just give me the prime rib? I guess I could, but rather give you the basket of fries, you fat fuck. That's totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. What did Carl do? I didn't see Carl. 42 kilogram flat dumbbell press. How much is that? 100 pounds? That's pretty good. Yeah, I could probably do that, but I could do more than 5, but haven't worked out in a long time. I'm fat as shit. I used to be able to bench press the heaviest ones they had in the gym, which I think was 130 pounds. And I could do those on an incline 10 times. I was a beast. And I could walk with them after, but now I couldn't probably do the freaking 30s. Probably lift like the 15s and something just absolutely breaks. Now I'm still unfortunately quite strong, but like my joints, I think if I tried to do that right away, my joints would just completely break and my bones would break and gravy would come out. Anyway, yeah, Carl, I don't know what you weigh. Like, see, at my weight, it's not a big accomplishment, but if you're like a normal weight person, that is a hell of an accomplishment, especially 5x5. That's what you want to do on chest if you want to get big, is go 5x5. There's nothing else. You don't want to do reps. You don't want to do anything. Once a week, 5x5, absolute max. And just once a week only. Get maximum growth, maximum rest. And just absolutely crush it that once a week. And you will make huge gains. But that's awesome, Carl. Congratulations. I used to be a total gym rat, many different lifetime. Top 50 kilograms, plenty, Carl. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight, man. Keep in mind, when I was doing those types of weights, I weighed, even probably more. I might weigh less than I do now. I probably weighed like 290 or something, but there wasn't much fat. It was like I was psychotically big. So it wasn't like yeah, Princess Jo, barely be able to keep her hands off me. Can only hope. Let's see. Yeah, she is. Thank goodness, man. Oh, I wish we had more time at 5 stars, though. Love the pool time. Didn't really love the buffet. Let's see. 80 kilograms, dude. That's freaking beastly, man. Absolutely beastly. Yeah, very nice. So you're hitting more than your weight on the dumbbells for 5x5. That's pretty freaking strong. That's really strong. That's awesome, man. Must have. I wonder how long it took you to do. For most people, it would take several years, of diligent working. I would say at least 4 or 5 years of working out like a psycho to get that strong. But some people just have the genetics. Like I have a bunch of brothers, and they're all like, we all eat the same. I was always fat, like since birth. They are always thin. Like my one brother, he's fucking model actor. He looks like, you know, he's totally jacked. He looks like a, you know, almost like a bodybuilder on the soap opera guys or whatever. My other brother, he's like short, but he's freaking super athlete. Amazing. You get little short guy go up and dunk a little mini ball in a 10-foot hoop. Like, I'll come along and just get the Danny DeVito genes from, you know, to their Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was still a great athlete when I was a little kid, but just outgrew me. Like the field kept getting bigger and bigger, and I didn't get faster and faster like all the other kids. Like when I was little, I was one of the best baseball players in the whole city, in the whole area. And they got older and older. It's like I got slower, I got weaker, I got fatter. Everybody else got faster. Everybody else got to be like horses. I got to be like whispering puppy, just eating too many snacks. I don't know. But yeah, you got to look at where you're at, honestly, and just change it. So that's what I'm about. Trying to be about accountability, responsibility, and most of all, just, you know, being here for the long term. It's just you're just gonna have endless health problems the bigger you are. Whatever it is, like deal with it now. It's so easy to put things off and not deal with stuff, and it's the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is just be honest with yourself. Stop worrying about what anybody else cares. It doesn't matter. People don't give a shit. Nobody knows you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about me. Gives a shit how fat I am. Nobody cares if I have man boobs in the pool. They might snicker and laugh a bit, but so what? Let them have their fun. I'm still going to sun like a boss. Why don't they ever have enough shade or chairs at those things too? Even like expensive places. Like there's no freaking umbrellas. You can't afford a few more umbrellas. Charging like $25 for a freaking club soda. Do you want the nacho? I don't want the nacho. I'm gonna bring that thing from the central kitchen somewhere underground. It's gonna be totally not melted. It's gonna be totally disgusting. Plus, it's hotter than hell out here. Everything on your menu is freaking finger foods, and they're fried. Anything light and refreshing about a fruit tray? I'll just laugh at you. You wouldn't eat a fruit tray anyway, you big fat fuck. I'm like, oh, okay, you got me there. I think a valid point. I was born with only one arm, but my backhand smashed back in the days. That's awesome, man. Dude, drummer from Def Leppard also only had one arm, as you probably know. Who was that pitcher? I also made money on the baseball card of that pitcher who only had one arm. I don't know if it's just like people who make it and you know about it, but a lot of people with one arm seem to be like total badasses. They're just like extra motivated. It's like, hey, I can do anything you can do. Probably most people with one arm probably do way more than me with my two arms. Short, fat legs. My mama said my short, fat legs could carry me anywhere, and she was wrong. Turns out I just sat at my desk and got fatter and fatter. When I read the script, I was supposed to run and run, but no. Danny Forrest just sits at the desk and eats chicken strips. Anyway, guys, let's see if we can turn over a new leaf. So far today, I had a salad, I had some cottage cheese, and I had some chicken breast. So basically, that means I'm hungry as hell. Because usually by this time, I probably would have been eating some bullshit. But I'm not messing around, guys. I'm going to do it. 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 Let's get, anybody else want to join me? Maybe it's something, maybe it's not a weight issue. Maybe it's something else that's been bothering you for a long time. And you've always known, like, yeah, I got to take care of this. I'd be much, much happier if I just did this or stopped doing this. Just do it, man. Man or woman. I don't mean man as a gender. I mean man as a general thing. But he's so sensitive. Thank God, not quite where we were. But anyway, so yeah, one more check. Let's see where we're at. They probably stepped on it a little bit, I guess. Oh no, it's all the way up 18%. Wow. 295. Yeah, this stock should be at least over $5 and probably, probably should be trading somewhere. I don't know. In my opinion, it should be around 12 bucks. I mean, Wells Fargo just downgraded from 16 to 14. And, that kind of tells you, like, some of the analysts who take a good, harder look at this and aren't just piling on, like Goldman. I mean, doing a real analysis of this drug, they're going to sell a ton of it at really, really high margins, unless something comes in and scoops them that we don't see on the horizon right now. And even if something else comes along in trials, it takes many, many years. And they have this thing locked up, patents locked up all over the place for 20 plus years, 18 years, 24 years. A lot of times you can tweak it and renew the patents and different tricks and stuff. Was yours on tree fitty? Tree fitty. Yeah, man, I've been there, done that. I was probably, dude, my highest, I wasn't $4 bills, but dude, I was high threes, man. That's no place to be. Thank God I'm not there anymore. Probably my legs would have just fallen off by now. Chinese carrot, is that like magic mushrooms? Poco, Loco. What's up, Wazir? What's up, Forever Forgiven? I'm down. I'll do it. Hold each other accountable. Weekly updates. Absolutely, Forever Forgiven. Let's do it. I'm telling you, I know I don't mention my weight because you don't want to mention your weight if you're a big fat jerk, but I was shocked. It was way too high. I was surprised that it was this high now, but that's where it is, man. It's at 332. I will hold myself accountable. Hopefully you hold yourselves accountable. If you want to post any numbers down in the comments, post some numbers. We're all on the honor system. There's really no point in lying. If my willpower fails, like it always does, I'll at least be honest. I mean, I may be a big fat jerk, but I'm usually pretty honest. So I only got one speed, guys. I'm kind of an open book. I always say too much, kind of annoys people, but it's the way it is, man. I can only be me. I wish I could be somebody else, but unfortunately, I can only be me. God, you have a way to get me into some kind of a, Judge Reinhold, was that guy named Dudley Moore swap situation where I can, go to work in a fancy office and drive a Jaguar. That would be great. But this isn't an 80s movies, guys. This is real life. And in real life, I'm a big, fat asshole. And things have got to change. Things are going to change. I can feel it. Let's see who this is before we go. Not a lurker, no coffee. 230 would love to be at 215. Yeah, I mean, see, guys, and that's nothing against that. I love you guys. Any positive movement is like, but you just don't get the big man struggle when you got to go from 230 to 215. A guy like Not a Lurker can get that done because he's disciplined and he exercises and he eats. It's like just been eating a little too much barbecue on the grill, been feeding the kids, He's got the kids, so they're young, they're athletes, they can eat anything. So he's like, he's not quite there anymore, but he's still eating like a teenager. Packed on about 15 elbows, no problem. Not a Lurker is going to get there too. By the time I'm 250, Not a Lurker better be 215, 214. Anyway, Neo going to run soon. I'm telling you, that L90 at that price is insane. It's just got to get some traction. People like, everybody's worried about cannibalizing Neo. Don't worry about it. They're going to move units on the swap. And what I think is going to happen with Neo is the L90 is so compelling and it's going to sell so well, it's going to force other companies onto that Neo battery swap network. They're going to say, what the hell is going on? Everybody wants an Onvo L90. Everybody wants one. You can't get one. How that you're getting at least a $45,000 feeling type of car from down in the mid-20s with that 60 kilowatt pack. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? This price on Neo? I don't know. I have no idea, Carl. I don't know anything. Guys, I will definitely go back and take a look at these comments, but I really appreciate you guys watching me. Forever Forgiven fluctuates between 210, 225. See, God damn it. I'm just joking, man. Everybody has where they start, where they finish, where they like to be. Like maybe you want to be 155 and you're 165. Hey, God bless you, man. Everybody just want to be healthy and happy. I don't want to be anybody else. I'm never going to be any type of like thin guy. I'm never going to have any abs, and that's okay. I just don't want to die. I just don't want to die. And that's not too much to ask of myself. I should have that much willpower where I start making better decisions, because when you're young, you get away with a lot of stuff. You can abuse your body to a certain degree, and you get away with it. But as you get older and older, it's just less and less forgiving. So you have to start actually making rational, responsible, grown-up decisions. So you're here for the long term, and you're not breaking down like an old like an old car, constantly needing, spending more time in the doctor's office than you are at a pool at a 5-star. Just too depressing. Anyway, guys, I have no idea what this absolute train wreck of a show has been about. The bottom line, IOVA approved in Canada. I'm very, very fat, and I would like to be less fat. And I'm hopefully going to take actions in the extremely near future to make that happen, like right now. Anyway, guys, it's Un Poco Moss. I'd like to say extreme thank you. The great Naughty Work with the great J Money would like to send out a search party. Is Alberto still out there? Has he quit the channel? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure Alberto's fine. He's just doing something else. Adam Sizzle, it's a lifetime pursuit. You got this. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. You guys, like, this channel is like, I don't know. I think it's important to my mental health. Just being able to get all this just baggage and just garbage out of my head and just dump it on you guys. Just dump it on you guys. This Princess Che doesn't have to listen to as much. But anyway, guys, thanks so much. I really appreciate you. Peace. I'm out. Thanks for watching Un Poco Moss, guys. One love.